Now, with the recent DJ Academic situation, it's really become apparent to me that black people being famous was a mistake, and I know it sounds insane, but you just gotta let me cook. Now, let me further elaborate on what I mean when I say black people getting famous was a mistake. Number one, you got baited. I actually don't fully believe that, only partially. Now, I love black excellence. I love seeing black people featured doing great things. So obviously I wouldn't just flat out believe black people being famous was a mistake. I also love the celebration of black talent. But what I don't like is how some of the worst parts of the community are being made apparent to the world. Now, most communities have their flaws, but I'm black, so I'm gonna talk about what happens in my community. Here in the black community, we have numerous flaws that have manifested throughout black content creation, and they are as follows: hyper/freak content, lack of holding accountability to predators, something that the recent DJ Academic situation has really brought to light. And finally, I'll call this last one the neutrality dilemma, where the person tends to mind their business or be neutral in the face of a bad person. Now, the neutrality dilemma is pretty diverse and is not any one size fits all concept, but what comes to mind to me is when you see big streamers platforming bad people. And trust me, I'm gonna put some names to these people. And before I give you examples of all of these, I just want you to know at the end, I'm gonna give some closing thoughts on why I feel this way. So let's start. Okay, so this one should have been obvious, Freaky Tube. But the thing is, I'm not gonna do that thing where, you know, it's a trend to say black YouTube is crazy and just kind of regurgitate everything that everyone's been saying. Because don't get me wrong, there is black YouTube content that is crazy, but there are reasons for it. So let's just start with what I think when I say Freaky Tube. So obviously 20v1s, Pop the Balloons, Deshae Frost, and other type of content where the primary purpose is highlighting beautiful women and showcasing their appeal. Now, this content is literally the LeBron James of showcasing hyper that men, women, boys, and girls within the black community has. These videos get millions upon millions of views, and YouTube, it almost feels like they push it out. And not only does it showcase the hyper problem, it perpetuates it.
I got Mystic, yeah.
Mystic, I genuinely blame him for my introduction to.
Yeah, that was like 2017.
No, 2014. This stuff is targeted to kids.
Yeah, that's Jadeon saying that side of YouTube got him into watching. He's also on the platform of a dude who made this weird video, but I digress. Would you guys like me to make a video on how this is the weirdest Ziest video that's ever been made? So not only is this just flat out showcasing the hyper problem that the black community has, is going uber viral. So now people are associating this type of content with black content creation when there's so many other types of black media out there to be consumed, so many other type of black creators, and so many videos that aren't just black hyper. It just really overshadows some of the better black content. And the proof of that is the plethora of videos saying, oh, black YouTube is crazy. But hopefully we can put that sentiment to rest with this video, because the problem is deeper than it just being black YouTube is bad. Like I said, it feels like YouTube promotes it, but when you have people who critique it, the video gets taken down. Looking at you, Cameron. It's just unfortunate that everything is a business nowadays, because YouTube is completely complacent in content that just, you know, makes the black community just look horrid and like monsters. But what am I saying? It gets hella money. I mean, why not monetize the product of black trauma? That's what hyper really is. Black YouTube or black hyper content is merely the product of years of and over in the black community. Now, I won't go too deep, but I'll end the segment with this. I wish that rather than monetizing this trauma and having children consume it, we'd address it and not become more cogs in this YouTube business. Okay, so we are gonna go right back to the DJ Academic situation, because oh my goodness, this is a classic display of protecting predators or going easy on predators or not properly pressing them with the energy we need to be pressing them with. This is also something that's just within the black community. Predators will not be exiled, but rather protected, or their deeds will be downplayed. played, and the victims are typically blamed. This is best showcased with Noor and people literally attacking this little dude. Now I forgot to mention, Noor is a Malaysian refugee who can't speak their language and he does not have a mom. So it's already hard enough on him, and you just have these people attacking them and literally just big on the downplaying thing. That was really my main point of the video. It felt like a lot of downplaying and a lot of just, hey, if you apologize, big bro, you gonna be straight. But I will get into this later. But when I say people, two that comes to mind are Silky and Convi. But we're gonna dissect each clip one by one, and then I'm gonna express my thoughts. And by the way, consider these extra thoughts and little bits that I left out of the initial video just to express the point that I feel like people are soft, and I didn't want to just bloat it with too much information at once. Oh yeah, and also I do want to bring up FD Signifier because his video was lovely, and he brought up the patriarchy and how this felt like a norm and how this is why these men feel it's okay, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
You have a little brother that's 15, nigga. You're not gonna ask, so you're gonna shut your mouth until he's 18 to ask him if he has a girl or he's done something? Nigga, what the fuck? What the fuck? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Imagine you had a little man's, all these years you could have asked this nigga, yo, what you was getting into, and then you find out nigga 19 he was fucking niggas. Nigga, what? What are you talking about? You don't know how niggas grow up, nigga. You gotta ask niggas, yo, what are y'all niggas into?
Bro, if you have a 15-year-old brother, you're not gonna be doing that. You are defending DJ Academics under the guise of big bro and little bro. I just can't believe it. There is a stark contrast, once again, between asking your little brother if he's interested in any girls his age and literally trying to get him comfortable with the thought of the way Academics did by him with his friends, which is literally in every sense of the word, but we're gonna talk about that later. Now, you can question your younger siblings on their relationships and even what's going on when they're going through puberty without using such nasty language. But Silky or Jerry Woo is just being a thug, just being a dumb thug and saying whatever. But now let's look at Convi.
If I'm 15 and a nigga tell me I can have strippers coming to your house, bring the most strippers you want to bring to my house. These kids use their phone too much. They live in the internet world too fucking much. Noor lived in the real world. This would not be his response, bro.
So Convi, just flat out, you're just dumb, and potentially a victim, which is unsurprising. And I know this video is about the black community, but young men in general typically have these stories where they're victimized by older women and rationalize it as them being lucky. And as Mr. Signifier said in his video on the subject, which by the way, highly recommend, go check his video out. It has to do with a patriarchal society and the gender roles that the patriarchy attempts to enforce. And when you combine forcing gender roles, toxic masculinity, and this weird concept of masculinity where boys must be hyper masculine and hyper, they're gonna attempt to rationalize what happened to them as we should be happy. Everything Convi said is a product of that very notion, and we should be grateful that we have the internet. It's opened us up to information and knowledge about how harmful this is and how harmful it is to other young boys who have been victimized like this. This is a huge issue in the black community, and you've seen it. I've seen it. I have experiences. Other teens who have expressed the rhetoric of being lucky or wanting to be lucky. These predators can be the mom's friends or even a close uncle, and yet nobody holds them accountable for real, much like DJ Academics. But now that we're back on holding Academics accountable, let's take it back to the content creators who I felt like were being soft. But first, I want to read 2 screenshots from my video that really just hit home and I want to discuss. If that conversation was a text message, Chris Hansen would have been busting in. Personally, I lost all respect. He should have been more hard on him because he's a father. That extra layer should have been enough for him to be like, if that was my kid, you'd get dropped. This was plain and simple. But instead, he was like, yeah, it's a joke. I get it. So number one, let's look at the screenshot where the hypothetical that paints this situation as a text message where Chris Hansen would have been busting in. Now, picture this, right? Skeeter Gene, everyone knows him, one of the most popular predator catches on YouTube. Imagine if he had pulled up with chat logs saying, yo, this is what Academic said to one of my decoys. Would the streamers have went soft on him then? That's really what it is, a spoken chat log. Let me chill. But for real, this is something literally out of a To Catch a Predator episode. And also regarding the whole father thing, that is an insane thing to consider. I don't even know how I forgot to mention this in my video. Dante is a father, right? Now imagine if academics had said this to someone who could have easily been his own kid. Would he have shouted him out then? Would he have even went on stream and had that conversation? Or would he have instantly said, yo, this nigga's weird, get him up out of here, he's done? You feel me? Now imagine how Nora's mom would have felt. Imagine seeing all these grown men essentially saying, yo bro, just apologize and you green FN. Like, you serious? Dante, man, this is just, I'm disappointed. I know you think that I don't like you, which, bro, who doesn't like Dante? Look, I was a fan, but you keep disappointing me. Y'all let academics try to big bro, little bro his way out of it, but this is by the textbook. He attempted to normalize these conversations under the guise of big brother and little brother. That is disgusting. But we sort of got a good ending though, with academics ending up being banned. However, it was apparently for talking to Aiden Ross, which is funny because I got a few words for him. But to close this section, I will say this. The crux of this issue is the black community's inability to properly hold predators accountable and then shift the blame to the child by saying things such as, oh, the child did it first. Oh, this child is fast. Which is what people were saying, and I'm pretty sure there's even a comment under my last video that says you should have heard what Nora was saying first. Which, why does that matter? Academics is 35, which, by the way, okay guys, I get it, stop correcting me, grown-ass man regardless, you feel me? But once again, you're a grown-ass nigga in the conversation. The fact that academics kept going shows that he's nothing more than a man-child, and a predator one at that. The neutrality dilemma. Once again, to me, it really is just platforming bad people who do bad things. And the reason they do that is because it's not their business, because it doesn't necessarily involve you. But this is merely a specific example that I see within content creation. Within the black community, however, people tend to overlook many things because it may not necessarily involve them. They may stay associated with predators or just, I guess for lack of better words, villains, because at the end of the day, they are not the ones directly victimized. What comes to mind is, for example, Kai Cenat being on stream with Chris Brown, as if he literally is not someone who is involved in DV. And I'm not just talking about Rihanna, by the way. Another interesting thing though is Kai Cenat claiming to be cool with Mr. Drizzy or Drake.
Personally, like, I had Drake tell me, yo, stay on stream tonight, because like he was dropping, like he personally gave me while I was on stream.
Drake has just texted me, stay on stream.
I'm cool with Drake, so like people would expect me to be on Drake's side.
Yeah.
Yes, you're cool with Mr. 17-year-old kisser and the guy who hung out with a 14-year-old Millie Bobby Brown and were somehow discussing boys.
You know, we just texted each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah. About boys, he helps me. What? Yeah, he's great. He's wonderful, I love him.
At his grown age, for some reason. I'm not saying he did anything with Millie Bobby Brown, but you know, texting about boys with a 14-year-old when you're like pushing 30, I think at that time, it's like kind of crazy. Am I tripping? I don't think so. Also, Kai is still friends with Aiden Ross, and if you're a fan of the channel, I've talked about him multiple times, but number one, Aiden Ross has literally platformed he is racist, and he set up a 16-year-old I Show Speed on a date with a transgender model, which led to this viral clip. Let me know if y'all want a deep dive on this period of time, because nobody, for some reason, talks about the numerous times Aiden has put a minor Speed on dates with older women and other weird stuff going on. Now, how does this relate to the neutrality dilemma? Look, Aiden used to go viral for doing fuck shit all the time. Out of every crazy thing he's done, you're telling me Kai is just like completely oblivious to, I don't know, the all black person scavenger hunt that he hosted with the dude literally doing blackface in the call. That's just not likely. So the only logical explanation is that Kai simply isn't concerned with it because it isn't his business. Do you get what I'm saying? Another thing that really gets me is Plaque Boy Max meeting up with Lone and chopping it up like this nigga didn't literally crack his ex-girlfriend's skull open. Oh my gosh.
Okay, you live, man. Free Jill. Yeah, free the guy. Free Spider-Man. Whenever you do it. Shit. How you feeling?
Now, I have a private video on my channel going over all of the Destroy Lonely DV allegations. Shorty literally has photos of her bloodied up and stuff. It's crazy. Like, Lone is a monster, but you have a big streamer, Black Boy Max, chopping it up like it's grits, bro. Without making this a conversation on art from artists, I will say, I'm not saying you can't consume music, because music itself is not inherently evil, but to be in his presence and, yo, what up, Lone? Like, we're not cool, bro. You're weird. You feel me? You cracked your shorty skull open. But my point is that this is something extremely normalized within the black community. And now that we have these famous black influencers, we will see this more and more. But I want to get to some closing thoughts and I will let you guys go. So I made this video to follow up on everything because it dawned on me. We will see more black influencers and we will see more black issues manifest within their content. As a community, we seriously need to get the magnifying glass and look at these streamers, because we need to realize they aren't as good as people think, nor are they a good representation of our community. We need to address issues instead of making videos keying at black YouTuber freaky content. We need to ask, why is black YouTube freaky? And we need to ask, why do these streamers remain complacent in the pain of others? The reality is, neutrality makes you just as bad as the aggressor.